Hello, my friend. I am so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this week's astrology. Oh my goodness, we have such a powerful full moon in Aquarius this week. In this week's episode, I'll be diving deep into the full moon in Aquarius chart for you. I will also dive into why muting, blocking, unfollowing people is really necessary to move forward. I will then end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. Starting off with August 6th, Mars, the planet of action and aggression, moves into the sign of Libra. This is going to really change how we approach our dating life and our work life. So keep this in mind. Mars was in Virgo for quite some time, and this was very tiring for a lot of Virgos because Mars was conjunct the South Node for quite some time, and there was a lot of purging, a lot of letting go. So Virgos, you're going to feel a lot lighter in August, which is amazing. Now with Mars moving into Libra this week, we have this shift in energy when it comes to how we focus on taking action and getting things done. So with Mars in Libra, in terms of your work life, this is going to really shift things when it comes to doing things in collaboration, wanting someone there in terms of an accountability buddy. It can feel a bit harder to make a decision, so you're going to want to get another opinion on a matter. It could feel like you're going back and forth on a situation or how to move forward in a project. We're still also in a Mercury retrograde, so there is this uncomfortability with trying to decide how to move forward. So Mars is in detriment in the sign of Libra, meaning that it is very uncomfortable in this sign. So this could feel a little bit difficult. I'm not going to lie, in terms of trying to make plans, trying to progress forward in terms of work and also dating. The way to manage this and to move forward with this energy is to have accountability buddies, have team members, work with people, because that's going to feel so much better in terms of work and making a decision. Now, in terms of dating, I will say, I'm not going to lie, this is very uncomfortable and it can be fun. It's very flirty. It's very much an energy of, okay, let's go along with the flow. Let's see how the other person feels about a situation. So that looks really, really great. And this is actually a very loving energy. So I do feel as though this can be really, really great if you're in an established relationship in terms of things, because you're trying to tend to that partner. However, if you're trying to date people at this time, I will say it can feel a bit harder. It can feel as though someone is not being decisive, making a decision, especially because we're still in a Mercury retrograde until August 11th. So this can be tricky. I'm not going to lie. So just keep this in mind when you're dating, if you're on dating apps. This is more of a fun energy. It is more so like, let's see where this goes. Let's go out. Let's go have fun. And it can just be a little bit harder to be decisive about a certain person, or to be decisive of how to plan a date or how to get things done in that manner. Keep this in mind. Now, I'm just going to go through the major transits of this week, and then I'll dive deeper into them in this full moon in Aquarius chart for you. Now, on August 8th, which is my birthday, we have Mars in a trine to Uranus in Gemini. On August 9th, we have the full moon in Aquarius. We also have Mars in Libra opposing Saturn in Aries this day. We also have Mars in Libra opposing Neptune in Aries this day. Then on August 10th, we have Mars in Libra trine Pluto in Aquarius. And then we also have Mercury retrograde happening the entire week until Mercury goes direct on August 11th. Now let's dive deeper into these transits for you. So this full moon in Aquarius is happening at 16 degrees of Aquarius. It is opposing the Sun in Leo at 16 degrees, and full moons are endings and closures. So with this full moon being in Aquarius, this is an energy where we're saying goodbye and closing a chapter, especially when it comes to our community. May this be also a new technology. May this be your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Maybe you're celebrating something this day. Maybe you are really looking at your dreams and goals in a new light and gaining clarity on them. Yet I see this energy as us getting some really good clarity on our connections, our network, how we're collaborating with other people. How are you building your community and being there for someone? This is a day where you can really see people fighting for what they believe in. May this be a free Palestine. May this be a free Sudan. May this be just getting to the root of how you can show up for humanity, what this looks like, how we're all connected in terms of the world, how we're all connected to our neighbors, how we're all connected to people across the globe, and we're watching things happen. So this is a day where people could get very, very angry. I want to really point this out. There's still some very lovely aspects to this full moon in Aquarius. We still have some very lovely support, yet I want you to be aware of this energy because people can be on edge. People could also feel as though they're trying to be there for their community and trying to figure out what to do to lend a helping hand. And this is very helpful, yet it is us fighting for what we believe in. It is us fighting for bringing more power to the people. Now, the interesting thing about this full moon in Aquarius is traditionally it is ruled by Saturn in Aries retrograde, and Saturn is opposing Mars in Libra in this full moon chart. So that's going to be exact on the 9th. This is uncomfortable, right? With Saturn and Neptune, both in Aries, retrograde. And then it's opposing Mars in Libra. You're having a confrontation with someone. And this confrontation is very uncomfortable. Someone could feel a bit elusive. You could feel like your boundaries are being tested. You could feel like you have to set a boundary with someone. It feels as though you're not really clear as to what is happening with a relationship, and there's a decision that needs to be made. Now, this is very important to note because Mars is very uncomfortable in Libra. Saturn is very uncomfortable in Aries. So there is this really interesting energy of, okay, we have to set this boundary, but what is it? But is this what we actually want to do? Mars in Libra wants to people please and wants to be there for other people and support people, but in the end, it is looking at what is best for you in the situation. How can there be a win-win situation? Now, maybe that's not possible for you. Yet, I will say, even though this is very uncomfortable, this is like a really, really intense confrontation with someone. We do have a beautiful, beautiful grand trine happening in the sky. So Mars in Libra is trine Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto in Aquarius is trine Uranus in Gemini. And Uranus in Gemini is trine Mars in Libra. So we have this beautiful grand trine happening. And this is going to help in terms of having support from your friends, from your community, from your network. So whichever confrontation you're having with someone, may this be an authority figure, may this be someone who's very stubborn, may this be someone who's not really in a good place at the moment, you have some good support with your network, with your community, with your friends. So lean on that support. That's going to be super, super helpful. Now with Mars in Libra in this grand trine to Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini, There's also this energy of having a lot of conversations, feeling a little bit pulled in different directions with these conversations, yet you're enjoying this. You're enjoying this collaborative nature. You feel as though you're supported in terms of the ideas you're generating. Maybe you get some really good ideas with this full moon. I do see that happening. Now, what is very interesting is we're getting very close to such a beautiful transit happening next week, and that is Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. Now, that's happening on the 12th of August, whereas right now, Venus is very, very close to Jupiter in Cancer for this full moon chart. So this looks so beautiful, super lucky. This is going to help so much so with this energy because there's this lovely, lovely, beneficial support you're receiving. May this be from your family. May this be the emotional support you're receiving. May this be just feeling luckier in terms of how you're processing your emotions. Maybe you're feeling more uplifted, or you're feeling like you have a better grasp of emotionally processing situations. And that in itself is helping you attract more into your life. This is going to be more so an attraction of feeling emotionally secure and knowing what to do through difficult, turbulent times. So even though there might be this confrontation with someone, there might be some miscommunication because, again, Mercury is still retrograde. There's this lovely, lovely support happening right now, especially with how you nurture and take care of yourself. So I think you're seeing things in a different light based on this, and you're gaining clarity with this full moon in Aquarius. Because of this lucky, lucky energy, this is such a beautiful, beautiful time to manifest. So this energy is great to set intentions for the next 6 months, especially what you want to unfold for you in 2026. And if you are interested in manifesting with community and really having this uplifting energy to amplify your manifestations, I am hosting a full moon in Aquarius event with the Moon Sign Creative Community. You can join using the link down below if you want to join in, if you want to do a very, very powerful full moon ritual to release and let go any stuck energy, to release and let go of the past. That is going to be super, super helpful for you. I'm super, super excited for this event. Community members have manifested dream homes, dream trips, pay raises at work, more clients, more sales, more opportunities. It's been amazing to witness what they've manifested within the community. If you want that support, if you want that help, and you want to discover how this full moon is impacting your chart specifically, come join us for this event. It's going to be so much fun, so magical. Even if you're a beginner to astrology, this is going to be super, super helpful for you, no matter what stage you're on your astrological journey. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested, and I can't wait to see you there. Now, I also want to mention for this full moon chart is because of Mars in this trine to Uranus, there is some surprising conversations you're having with people or interactions you're having that can be very, very helpful. This could be a time when you get a breakthrough or an idea around a situation, specifically around relationships and how you're interacting in relationships. How are you contributing to this confrontation that you're having? What was said or not said in the situation? Maybe this is just gaining clarity on, okay, I have to approach this situation differently in the future, or I need to communicate more effectively next time in this situation so there's not this confusion. I will say there is a lot of confusion in terms of this opposition because Mars is opposing Neptune. So with this energy, there is an authority figure or someone in power or potentially someone that you're close to who is in this confused state on how to move forward and have this conversation with you. Now, I will say some secrets can be revealed at this time. Mercury is opposing Pluto in this full moon chart. And this can be a conversation you've already had. This could be someone you've already talked to, but perhaps you're going around in circles around this conversation, or perhaps you didn't fully express how you felt around a particular topic. So I will say to be cautious around someone being manipulative or a bit controlling. Keep this in mind with this opposition to Pluto. This is some intense energy. There is a bit of this power struggle happening at this time. Yet, the good thing with Mercury in the mix is Mercury is making this very supportive trine to Saturn and Neptune. So there's some stability here. There's some support in terms of having conversations of what is worth it to you in the long run. Is this a conversation for you that doesn't really matter in terms of how you'll feel about it in a few months? Or is it a conversation where it's going to repeat again and again and again, and the same issue is going to come up again and again and again? So this is a defining moment of, okay, wait, there's something here where you're thinking about the future, the long-term goals, and how this can actually help you in terms of your spiritual journey. May this be your creativity, your self-expression, or the dreams you have for yourself with Mercury in this trine to Neptune. So there is some really beautiful things happening with this full moon. Again, still very intense, still a bit more of this power struggle that you have to kind of work through and go through, yet lean on your community, lean on your support, your network, your friends. This is going to be super helpful for you to do. Now, the last thing I want to mention with this full moon in Aquarius is this is taking us back to the new moon in Aquarius we had earlier this year. So what was happening for you around January 29th, 2025? Something from that time is now closing out its chapter. So perhaps you are ending a project that you started at that time. Perhaps you joined a community and you've decided, okay, maybe this isn't the best fit for me. Perhaps this is you realizing what kind of community support you do want. Perhaps this is you discovering, okay, wait, I set this intention with this person 6 months ago and now we're growing apart or seeing things in a different way. Go check back to see what was happening for you. Let me know in the comments. And if you've made it this far on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me out. And comment down below 8 because it is my lucky number because I'm born on August 8th on Lionsgate. And comment this down below just so I know you made it this far in the video. Now those are the transits of this week. Now moving into the topic for this week. I want to chat about something that I think is very, very important for this full moon in Aquarius. And this is why blocking people, muting, or unfollowing people on social media is best for your growth and moving forward in a situation. This isn't specifically on going no contact with an ex. If you'd like me to cover that topic, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear if this is a topic you want me to talk about. Yet, this is more so on social media. If you want to share your life on social media, may this be with your friends, may this be building a business, may this be being seen online. This is honestly something that has changed my life completely. And I want to share it with you because it is so helpful to protect your energy. So I got this idea for this week's topic while chatting with a friend, and we were chatting about why not just mute or block someone or unfollow someone based on what kind of relationship we've had with that person. Now, this is interesting. So she got a bit shocked after I told her how many people I've blocked. And it's interesting. I have a Cancer moon. I have a Libra rising. I'm a very loving person. However, The thing is, for myself, I have a 12th house stellium in whole sign. And for me, I need to protect my energy. I've noticed every single year I get older, the more I start to see why it's so important for me to protect my energy, because that ultimately is going to help me help more people. If you feel as though it's hard for you to show up online because of a specific person, I want you to ask yourself, okay, so why don't I just mute them, or mute them from looking at my stories, for example, or unfollow them or block them. And we can be in this people-pleasing mentality when it comes to our social networks, when it comes to friends or family members or whoever is in your inner circle. Now, based on my own personal experience, I've blocked or muted, it's been both, over 100 people. And this is because I really care about protecting my energy. And for myself, this has been people such as family members or people I just felt very uncomfortable with seeing me and who I know are judgmental, right? So if you know someone is judging you, why not just mute or block or unfollow, whatever feels better for you, or just mute them from your story, or just so that you don't see that energy that's coming towards you. And for myself, the first people I've blocked were family members, because for myself, it was very important for me to show up authentically online. I want to really feel safe to show up online, not be judged for what I do. But again, you can't please everyone. There's always going to be, someone who might not vibe with your energy. May that be whatever it is, but whatever you can do for yourself in terms of protecting your energy, that is going to help you get seen, show up online, share your videos, share your photos, even if it's just for friends, right? Even if it's not for your business. For myself, it was for me growing my business. Yet I know for some people, it could just be for friends or relatives. So I want you to ask yourself, who are you afraid of judging you for showing up online? Why not just mute or unfollow or block that person? Because we always have this fear of, oh my God, they're going to be mad at me, right? And I think this is a tricky topic because, yes, sometimes they won't know. If you've just muted someone from seeing your story, or you've muted, someone in terms of viewing their story, which is also another possibility. If you just don't want to see their stories, if you don't want to see their posts, you can mute their stories and posts. That's an option. Yet, I think this is such a good thing to take note of, because it's clearing our energy and protecting our energy so that you can show up in a very confident way online. And one of the reasons why I've muted or unfollowed or blocked so many people is because honestly, a lot of them have been people who have been very angry at me for saying, I really support a free Palestine. I support people not starving to death. I support innocent lives being saved. I really stand on this because it is for humanity. And I've said this multiple times on Instagram, on TikTok. So I've just muted or unfollowed or blocked those people. Quite a few of these people have also been random people leaving me hate comments on my videos or social media channels. I just mute or block them. It's okay, right? It's just reminding yourself it's okay to do that. Yet some of them, a far less amount, luckily, have been people I know. May this be family members, friends, other relationships. But if I have a trigger with someone and I'm afraid of them judging me for a certain thing, and they haven't been supportive, I want to preface this. If they haven't been supportive as a friend, it's someone I knew in high school, they weren't supportive of me at that time, I've just muted them. So it's figuring out, okay, what's best for your energy. If, it's not really helping you in terms of showing up authentically, helping more people online, if you have a business, it's okay to mute those people if you still want to, connect with them, if you still want them on your social media channels. It's okay to hide your stories if you just want that protection, if you just want to feel as though you're being protected in terms of that. Of course, yes, can they make fake accounts to look at your profile? Can they do these things? Whatever that may be, yes, yes. But it's understanding that's okay. It's understanding that that's fine. Whatever gives you peace of mind, do that for yourself. And I heard this reference. I don't know how long ago it was. It was a few years ago. I don't know who said this, but I'm quite sorry if it was you. Please let me know, or someone who has mentioned this. Yet it's thinking about what we were doing in the 1900s in a pre-social media society. We did not have access to everyone at the stage we're in, yet we feel lonelier now. Years ago, pre-social media, pre-Facebook, pre-Instagram, pre-Snapchat, whatever that may be, there is this energy where if you did not see someone in 10 years and they weren't really that supportive of you, you might just never see them again. You might never see what they get up to, and that's okay. Yet there's some friends where you wish you did connect with and you didn't have access to that, and now you still get to keep in touch. So there's, of course, pros and cons to technology. Yet it's understanding that us humans aren't made to really be in touch with thousands and thousands of people at one time and have very close connections to all these people. It's understanding that you kind of have to do what's best for your energy. Of course, still supporting your community, still supporting your friends. Yet if something's making you very triggered or uncomfortable to show up online, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what can you do for yourself in this moment? Maybe it's something to process, to feel through, to see, is it reminding you of a past situation? Does it even have anything to do with that person? Sometimes it has nothing to do with that person and we still have this fear. And I'm saying all this because of this full moon in Aquarius. This full moon in Aquarius is very intense. It can feel like we have some confusion around our boundaries. And Neptune is the planet of entertainment. So it's understanding too, what facade do we have online? How is this different than who we are outside of social networks? And if you struggle with setting boundaries, if you're someone who struggles with taking action on this because you're afraid of someone getting mad at you, I want you to take a step back and ask yourself, even if they're mad at me, would I still want to say this? Do I still want to express this? Right? Because you have to put yourself first in terms of that. I think really sharing your life, being seen, is very healing to not only yourself, but to other people. And it's understanding too that by protecting your energy in this way, it's helping you really use that energy for better things, to be there for your friends and community and family members in different ways, and to really show up for yourself and what you believe in. So if you're someone who struggles with boundaries, check to see where your Saturn sign is in your chart. Look to see if there's any aspects to your Saturn. Look to see which sign is your Saturn in, which house is it in, which houses are ruled by Saturn for you. That's going to give you more context to what boundaries you need to set in your life, which areas can be tested even more. Go look into that. If you want help with this, I'm happy to help. I have a few spots left for private birth chart readings. I'm super, super excited for this. There's just 2 spots left in August, and I could pull up your chart to help you in terms of whatever you're going through. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested. I also have my Astrology Foundations course, Scene Secrets. This is for you if you want to deep dive into learning astrology and becoming your own astrologer. I'll leave a link to that down below if you want that support, if you want that help, and go read the testimonials and reviews. They have been mind-blowing. It's honestly so exciting for me to see how my students have grown immensely using astrology for their life. So I really hope this helps you, friend, in terms of understanding why it can be so helpful for you to protect your energy in this way online. Again, another thing I didn't mention was in terms of comparison to other people too. If there's someone that you feel triggered by because they have something that you do not have, I want you to look into this and see, actually, this can be a blessing because it's showing you what you want. It's showing you something that can be super helpful for you. Yet sometimes we do need to protect our energy before we reach that stage in terms of fully accepting where we're at. So keep this in mind. I hope this gave some context as to why this can be really helpful for you in terms of just showing up in a more authentic way online. May this be for yourself, may this be for your friends, your family, or even your business. And honestly, being seen online is so beneficial for your business. It's life-changing, honestly. This is something I help my clients with in depth. If that's something you're interested in, check out the links for that down below. Now let's dive into your tarot reading for this week. All right, so the first card out is the Justice card. There's something here this week where you're going to try and figure out, how can I make this situation fair? Someone's not fully disclosing everything to you right now. I say this because in the Justice card, there is this curtain behind this figure. So there's something behind a wall. May this be someone's true intentions. May this be how you're seeing a situation. You're not seeing everything fully. I do think the full moon is going to help you immensely with this. However, the Justice card here is asking you to weigh out your options and to also see what's worth your energy. This is a card asking you to also really think about karma, right? Sometimes it's not your place to, instill karma onto other people. I am hearing this message that really focuses on karma. So remind yourself to focus on yourself, focus on your energy, focus on the love you can give to other people. Wish other people well. It's okay. Again, I will say that when I mention blocking or muting people on social media, you can still wish someone well. You can still give love. You can still show up and provide that love to other people. Yet, it's okay that it's not in the way that they expect, right? You can give love from afar. You can protect your energy. It's okay. Remind yourself of this. So I am hearing this message. I asked, what else is happening for us this week? We have the Sun card. I love this card. This is such a playful, fun energy. This is us really getting in tuned with our inner childs. This is an energy of joy, of spontaneity. I want you to ask yourself this week, what does your inner child need right now? This is really fun though. I love this. I think this is going to help you show up authentically. I think this full moon in Aquarius can be a really fun one, excluding this confrontation that could be happening for you. Yet so much support, so much happiness with this card. Honestly, one of my favorite cards in the deck, as I am a Leo, and this is my birthday week. Next week, I will say, before getting into the other cards, I am going to post about your Christ year. So stay tuned for that, which is the age 33, the lessons I've learned at 33. So stay tuned for that. I'm saying this because the Sun card Leo, I love this energy. Such a beautiful energy. We also got the 10 of Wands reverse. So there's something you're purging this week. There's something you're letting go of. This is an energy where you feel like there's a lot of mental clutter. You've been weighing out a lot in your life. Maybe perhaps you feel like you've been pushing forward. You're not seeing the results you wanted. You feel like it's just been heavy for you. Things have been weighing you down. This is a card to let things go. Remind yourself of this. It is actually a really good stage because with the 10 of Wands reverse, you're letting things go now. It's not going to feel the same. You're going to feel lighter after this full moon, which is great. I love seeing that energy. And also the Venus-Jupiter conjunction is beautiful. It's beautiful. I can't wait to see what happens for you. It's super lucky. I asked what our challenge is this week. We have the Lovers card. Very interesting. There's a choice or decision you have to make around a specific person. May this be a romantic partner, may this be a business partner, may this be a friendship, may this be a relative, may this be just someone in your life. There's a choice or decision you have to make around them. The Lovers is usually such a supportive card of connecting with someone, yet it is a card of, okay, why is this hurting me? What is this person teaching me? How am I seeing them as my mirror? So this is great to keep in mind. I asked what would help us overcome this confrontation, this challenge, this conversation we're having with them. We got the Strength card. So be vulnerable. Share what's actually on your mind. Share what feels good to you. Share from a place that is kind, is generous, is loving. That's going to help you through so much. Just remember to give that love and kindness to yourself as well. But I want you to share what has been weighing you down and be gentle with yourself and others. So with this choice and decision you're making about this relationship, first off, again, we're in a Mercury retrograde, so there is always going to be miscommunication and difficult situations happen with communication during Mercury retrogrades. So keep this in mind. I wouldn't recommend making a really concrete decision during a Mercury retrograde. I would wait till after the retrograde. However, if you have to make this decision, be gentle, be kind, be vulnerable, be supportive, and see where the other person's coming from. Lead with compassion and empathy, but of course, make sure you're not people pleasing. Make sure you are still standing up for yourself. You're protecting your boundaries, your energy. That's going to be super, super helpful for you. I love the Strength card. I also see this more so as your kindness, your love, your energy is a gift. Remind yourself of this. Your oracle cards are get out of your own way. So this is an energy where some of this can also be self-inflicted. Maybe you're overthinking a situation. Again, with Mercury being retrograde, this could also be an energy where you could be stopping yourself. Maybe you're kind of stopping yourself in your tracks. Maybe this is for sharing things online. Again, maybe you're afraid of what other people will think, or it's stopping you from fully expressing yourself. Remind yourself that you're safe no matter what. Remind yourself that you love yourself no matter what. No matter what other people think, remind yourself you're always going to have your back. Show up for yourself. Do what feels good for you. Of course, out of love for other people too, but remind yourself. Also, what's also freeing for me sometimes too is reminding myself some people don't actually care as much as I think they care. And that can be a very freeing feeling. Some people don't actually care what you're doing, or potentially it triggers them as well. And that's also why some people aren't supporting you in the way that you wish they were. Yet I want you to really see it as, how are you holding yourself back from your dreams, from your goals, especially with this full moon in Aquarius? That's going to be super, super helpful for you. Get out of your own way, okay? Let go of those limiting beliefs, let go of that self-sabotaging behavior. I dive super into this in my Seeing Secrets course. If you want help in understanding where this is happening in your specific birth chart, I go so in depth on self-sabotaging behavior for every sign, and also what this looks like based on the planets and how they aspect each other. If you want help in that, I'll leave a link to that down below. Yet, remind yourself of this. This is so freeing when you start to see the patterns and how you can move and break them. You also got little by little, so small steps every day. Remind yourself that you will get to your goal, you will get to that destination, but you need to enjoy the process, you need to enjoy the journey. I always have to remind myself of this. I have to enjoy the journey. So little by little, you're gonna make it. It's gonna be good. Don't worry. And then listen quietly. Listen to your intuition. Listen to see what comes up for you. What messages are you receiving right now? Listen into your intuition. It's so, so powerful. So I really hope this helped, friend. I really hope it helped. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to join me for the full moon in Aquarius manifestation ritual with the Moon Sign Creative Community, it is happening on August 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Replays are available if you can't make it live. I'll leave a link to that down below. If you'd like a private session with me, I'm happy to help with that. And if you'd like to learn astrology from me, check out my courses. Thank you so much for watching, friend. I'm sending you so much love. Let me know what's happening for you this week, how you're feeling with this week's energy. And just remember, the universe has your back. And with peace and love, take care.